G'day, I'm Steve and this is Woodworking Masterclass. Welcome to the workshop. What I'm talking about today is something that a company has sent me to try, and that is this. It's an Omtech Polar50 laser cutting machine. Now, I have been a dyed-in-the-wool traditionalist woodworker for quite a long time. As you can tell behind me, I love hand tools. And I want to share with you my journey thus far with the Omtech Polar. It's not your conventional route. It is filled with pitfalls and fears and mistakes and heart-stopping moments, but all in all, the journey has been well worth it. When I first got it, if I can find it, there you go. So I read the manual, this manual here, from cover to cover, which I suggest anyone who buys one of these machines does, because it does have some great information in there. But the other thing, it frightened me to bits with all the things that can go wrong and what can harm you and kill you and make your legs fall off. And no, not quite that bad. But it was pretty scary when you see what that laser can do if, and I stress, if you don't follow the directions properly in here. Number one, first thing I did was went out and bought myself a set of, I think it's OS or OC or something or other, 6 goggles. They were about $35, I think, on Amazon. And that is your safety for your eyewear. And that's the 6 is the size you need for the strength of that laser in there. So I went through this, as I said, and yeah, it frightened me. And then I thought, oh, I don't think I'm clever enough to be able to use this. And it sat there for a bit, and I got online, and there's some brilliant online forums with lasers, and there's particularly the Omtech users forum on Facebook. And I went into that, and people were having issues and problems, and they were asking questions. They didn't know how to do that and didn't know how to do this. To be fair, a lot of people hadn't read that manual. And again, that was, oh no, it's going to be too difficult. No, I know how to use a chisel. I know how to use a hand plane. No, it's too complicated for me. And then I watched some YouTube videos, and there was one particular, 2 young girls in America, and bless their hearts, I wish I could find them again. They were terrific. And they said, we're going to share with you the trials and tribulations we have with our Omtech. So I looked at that, and it sort of gave me confidence to have a go and turn the machine on and see how I could use it. So I turned it on at the back, and then I turned the key, and it came to life. And I stumbled, and I fell. And when you buy this, you get access to Lightburn, which is the software program they have connected with this. There might be other ones out there, but I found Lightburn to be, once I got my head around it, it was pretty easy to use, pretty intuitive, and it's about a 30-day trial, and then you can extend that by another 15 days if you like. I took that long, I actually bought the annual subscription because it took me a couple of months to work up the courage to actually get in here and do something. When you get the machine, it comes very, very well packed. I haven't done an unboxing because there's so many unboxing videos already out there. I thought it was a little bit superfluous. They do give you a good range of materials to use, 3-inch plywood, 3-inch plywood, sorry. 3mm plywood, 3mm perspex, and cardboard. I haven't used the cardboard yet, but I also am using this in a way that I have not seen anyone else on YouTube or Facebook using the machine. Now, primarily, my experience from watching people on these forums is they are using them to make products that they can then sell, whether it be on eBay or Market Gardens or Etsy or something like that. What I'm using it for is as an intermediary tool to woodworking, and I have branched out into working with leather as well, such as these. I'll talk about it in a little bit. But it's slowly catchy monkey, and each time you have a little success. I haven't had any issues with the machine per se out of the box. There are some people that said it didn't work as soon as they got it. This didn't work when I got it because I wasn't going to use it, but the potential was there. The couple of problems I have had with them is, I'll show you when I'm actually operating it, but underneath the laser nozzle itself, there's a screw top. Now, I didn't check that, and over the course of a few jobs, it actually unscrewed and then jammed up against the material I was using, which made the heart flutter a little bit, but I quickly stopped the machine and turned it off, turned it back on, as we do with all electronic devices nowadays, and it went back home and it settled down and it was good. The other thing that I forget to do, which I did see a guy on YouTube saying does have the capabilities in light burn of giving you a checklist. So I've got to look into that, and I will make a checklist. My biggest thing that I keep forgetting to do is to drop the laser down. I haven't even looked at getting the camera. There is, in light burn, there's a test pattern that you can do for your material, and it will give you different speeds and different powers of the laser. I did have one around here somewhere. Well, most likely. Oh, here we go. All right. That's one there. You can see that it's burnt through on most of them. And then you look at that and you go, oh, that's the result I'm looking for. So I will do whatever the speed is and whatever the power is. Quite frankly, I'm a bit of a suck and see sort of guy, and I'll put a test piece of the material in, and I will run the design or part of the design that I want, and then I will think, oh no, I want it a bit deeper, so I'll increase the power. If I'm at a higher power, I then decrease the speed, and that works very well for me. I'm not saying it's everyone's cup of tea, but that does sort of suit what I'm doing. For example, that was New Guinea rosewood. Now, I did exactly the same design on a piece of Chilean rosewood, Chilean myrtle veneer, and it burned all the way through it. So, you know, that is a good idea to give you a bit of confidence, but after a while you get to get a feel for it. Now, this is that delicate, if I can find, here we go. It will cut. I have not cut through an inch piece of timber because I haven't had the need, but that's tracing paper, and those two ovals, not the pencil marks, but the two ovals were actually drawn by the laser machine. So from my point of view of being a furniture maker, marquetry, I get the design I want, I put it in there, the laser will mark it on the tracing paper, and that makes my life so much easier, because what I used to do was have to trace it with a pencil, and as I use the pencil point starts to wear and it gets wider, so I get a difference in the design, whereas by doing it on paper with the laser, it gives me a much more definitive diagram to follow. I'll show you that one in another video. That was a bow box that I made, an inlay that I put on to that. But what other things? Oh, in here, they say, see if you can put the power into a separate circuit. Now, I don't know what that is for. I'm thinking because if you have several appliances working off the same circuit, you can get a voltage drop, which can adversely affect the machine. But my workshop is on one fuse out of a circuit board, and I have a lot of machines here, and I haven't had a problem with the laser. Obviously I'm not using machines when I've got the laser going most of the time, but sometimes the compressor behind me will cut in and I don't see any fluctuations in the finish or interference with the machine itself. Couple of things I'll show you when we're actually on the machine, but that is about it. Remember to have all your cables plugged in. I was trying to do something the other day and I did it in Lightburn and I sent it to the machine and nothing happened, and I realised that I had my music USB cable into my laptop, not the one that would speak to the laser. Again, that was organic interface problems, me, not the machine's problems. So from what I've used and what I've gathered, it's a brilliant machine. I absolutely love it, and I know I'm not even using 0.5% of its potential, but slowly I'm discovering how to use it, and if it's treated right and with respect, it won't give you any dramas, I don't think. Now they also have they suggest in the book, have a dust-free environment. I have mine, it's right there in front of my workshop, and I'm in a woodworking workshop, so there is dust everywhere. I've even, for where I can, I've kept the original plastic on the covers to keep it clean, and occasionally I'll just get in there and clean out the tray. All in all, I haven't had any dramas. It's advisable, I've found. They give you a great little box of bits. It's like a travelling first aid kit. The one I use the most are these little things here, like cotton buds, only they're not cotton, they're a synthetic sort of rubbery substance. And with that I just wipe it over the mirrors to keep the mirrors clean. And they have all these other wonderful tools, of which I haven't used any. The thing to remember is your height. So the laser, when it's turned off and it resets, it's at 17 mil. So whatever the thickness of the material you're using, you subtract that from 17. So if you put a 3 mil piece of perspex or plywood in there, you take 3 mil from 17, which is 14, then you set the height of the laser head or nozzle to 14 mil, and that's done in Lightburn. I'll show you another couple of things that I've learned in one of the demos that I'll do. But for now, what I thought I'd do is we'll do an arm guard. I've taken up archery, for those of you who've been watching my channel for a while, and I've been shooting Asiatic archery, which is a thumb draw. I haven't got an Asiatic bow down here. Yes, I do. Wait a minute. All right. This is the difference. This is an Asiatic bow, and when you shoot, might even have a thumb ring in my pocket, you never know. I do too, look at that. Okay, it's a thumb ring. So that goes over the thumb, like so, and when you shoot, you actually put your thumb around like that, and then, I better not shoot it in here, but you draw back this way, and the arrow's on the right hand side. However, with a longbow, the arrow is on the left hand side, and you shoot with your fingers, and when you're at full draw, this string is pretty close to the forearm, and if you let go and you're too close, you get a horrible bruise down that arm. And I want to tell you, it hurts. So what I've done, just put these up over here, is designed a couple of arm guards. This was the first one that I did, and let me see, it's got Steve in it, and it slides over. Take your watch off. Take your thumb ring off. Oh, it slides over your arm like that. I'm working on a different process, so it's not quite so hard. And that's how it sits on your arm. Trouble is, when I shot my longbow for the first time with an arm guard, I was getting slapped here, not here. So then I made a longer one. It's good, but it's just a little bit too long, and I reckon I'm going to get slapped there. So what I want to do is we'll make one, and I'll show you the process, and I'm going to have it just a little bit shorter than this one. And a couple of techniques I'm going to do which makes it a little bit different before I actually start burning it. And that is, I don't have any plain raw leather. All I've got is some black buffalo hide. But what I want to do with this one is cut the arm guard out, and I want to put a motif in the middle of a lion. But, so it's not, if it's black on black, you can't really see it that well. So I've got this great polishers here that I've been using for a long time. And I'm going to cover the leather in a metallic polish, and then we'll see how it operates. Okay, that's a beautiful pearl colour. So I'm just going to do all the leather in this. And you really are, you're limited by your imagination with this. Okay. So effectively I've stained the leather. So there you go. All right, now another thing that I do that I haven't seen anyone else do is I don't use the tray so much as I'm using the bits of timber that they give you. And with that, I use double-sided tape. Work out which is top and bottom. And I'm going to put that down there. So double-sided tape on the back. I've seen people using rare earth magnets, and I'm sure they work very well. This isn't just any ordinary double-sided tape. It's what they call sailmaker's tape. It is extremely strong, and if you use it, it's been my experience that you take the residue off as quick as you can, and it comes off fairly easily. But if you leave it on for 2 or 3 days, it's it's possible to get it off, but you'll also get blisters on your fingers trying to get it off. There's a couple of ways I can do this. I can put that on and then try and get the laser head to centre where my product is that I want to make. Or the other thing I do is I put a piece of plywood in, hammer it up against the corner, turn the machine on. That's the one we're going to do, and the power is 60 and the speed's 20. But I'm just going to mark this out. I don't want that to be, the image to be burnt, so I'll turn that off. And I'm going to change this to power of 20 and the speed of 100, and I'm going to see how it frames. Now I can put it where I think it frames, or what I like to do is I'm going to actually do a very light burn. There we go. Okay, now if I pull that out, I can see that's the drawing right there. So providing I know which is front and which is back, I can then lay this exactly where that drawing is, and I know it's going to be okay. I'll put that down there, that there. Then I just firm that down with the tape. Pop it in the tray. Now I've turned the external fan on because you'll find with leather it really does smoke a fair bit. We'll turn it on and see how we go. I've just got to change the settings back here again. So I'm changing that speed. Oh, that was 1,000, didn't matter. I'm changing the speed to 20. And I'm changing the maximum power to 60. And on the line I want to carve, I'm going to bring that power up to 35 because I want it fairly deep. And we might bring that speed maybe to 80. All right. And that is it. Double check. I'll run the frame. Okay. Now the plywood is 3mm and that leather is 2mm, so that's 5mm. So take 5 from 17, I have to set the depth of the nozzle to 12mm. 12mm, drop it down, make sure it's coming down okay, yep, it's come down. Alright, we should be good to go. Put your glasses on before you even go near the machine. Makes the whole world take on a beautiful orange hue. Okay, we'll press start. give it a, I might give it a blow of compressed air. We'll see how it goes. Cleans up quite nicely. And there you have it. And these little eyelets, it even cuts out the eyelets for you. I'll just pop those out. Because the leather does change its density. So sometimes it won't cut all the way through, but I would prefer it didn't quite cut all the way through and I can finish it off by hand rather than cutting too deep and making a mess. So anyway, when that gets done, that will then get laced up and go on my arm. Let's hold it like that, and hopefully save me from getting slapped. This tape here, you just roll it with your thumb and it will, or finger, and it will come off. Here we go. And then it'll roll upon itself and leave it all nice and clean. There you go. See, it's just rolling up on itself now. So there you go. That's a different style of project on the Omtech. Another complaint I've heard was, oh, it's noisy. Believe me, the machines I've got in this workshop, it is not noisy at all. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to go and lace this up and might even shoot a few arrows to see how the line protects from harm, but I hope you've enjoyed that. Something a bit different, the Omtech Polar 50. I'll do another project very soon on some inlay work that I did on a bow box, which I referred to in an earlier video. And that's about it. So that's it. This is Steve pulling the shed door down, saying remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe. Look after yourself, be kind to each other, and I look forward to having your company in the workshop, at the workbench, very, very soon. Till then, God bless. Bye for now.